You're designing an Azure architecture to gather sales records from numerous retail sites globally. Every site will upload hourly sales data to an Azure Blob storage container for subsequent handling. The solution needs to satisfy these conditions: initiate processing upon data arrival in Blob storage, filter records using site metadata, invoke an Azure Logic App to handle records and store them in Azure Cosmos DB, provide high availability and geo-replication, support a 24-hour retry window, and use exponential backoff during processing. What components must you deploy?
Option A, Azure Event Hub. Option B, Azure Event Grid. Option C, Azure Service Bus. Option D, Azure Blob Storage. Option E, Azure App Service. Option F, Azure Logic App.
Let us examine the concepts involved in this scenario. We need to handle file uploads at scale, react to these uploads immediately as they arrive, filter them using metadata, and trigger an orchestration workflow that includes robust retry policies and global distribution capabilities. In my view, the correct answers are Azure Blob Storage, Azure Event Grid, and Azure Logic App, which correspond to options D, B, and F.
Azure Blob Storage is required because it acts as the landing zone for the hourly sales files uploaded from the retail sites. Azure Event Grid is necessary to monitor the storage account, detect when new data is saved, filter events based on site metadata, and reliably trigger downstream services.
Azure Logic App is needed to process the incoming data, write the output to Azure Cosmos DB, and leverage its built-in capabilities for high availability, geographic distribution, a 24-hour retry window, and exponential backoff retry policies. On the other hand, Azure Event Hub and Azure Service Bus are unnecessary in this architecture because Event Grid natively integrates with Blob storage events, and Logic Apps natively handle the orchestration and required retry logic without needing an intermediary messaging queue.